Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the dangers of shopping on Reverb. Here's a little clip of what you're going to be looking forward to in this video. I hate my life! Okay, so yeah, if that clip interested you, stick around to the end. You're going to see why I did that. So here it is. It's boxed up, packed up, ready to go back. I decided to make a video. So that's what we're doing here. This guitar came in. I'm debating on whether or not to say what the seller's name was. I really don't know if I want to do that. Anyway, this guitar came in. It was listed as very good. The price was really, really good too. It was a very good deal. Lots of very goods there. Good price. Very good condition. Well, let's see what we really got, guys. Okay, so here we have it. It's a carvin guitar. Now, based off the condition of the case, it's not horrible condition, but just looking at the case, I was like, man, I got a feeling about this. So, boy, was I right. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at what happened when we opened this case up. One of the coolest guitar models that Carvin used to make, DC 127. Black, block inlays, silver hardware. What's not to like, right? Very cool looking guitar. But once we got it out of the box and I started looking into it, that's when I ran into a lot. That's when I ran into a lot of extra problems, right? Now, leave me a comment down below if you think I'm being a little bit demanding of the quality of this guitar versus the very good condition it was listed at. What do we get? We get a highly corroded bridge. I'll try to put some B-shot in there for you to see. The screws are all completely corroded. The saddles are rough. They're not smooth anymore. The pots, they short out, so they either need to be cleaned or replaced. Based off the corrosion, it probably just needs to be cleaned, but I don't know. Those two things kind of irked me right from the start. I was like, ah, man, come on. But that still wasn't a deal breaker yet. The deal breaker, we're going to get to in a minute. Also, around every fret, around every inlay, there was some gunk, dirt, corrosion, or whatever. Like each block, I'll put some B-roll there too if I can. Each block has some glue or corrosion or dirt around it, like all the way around. And I was like, ah, man. So I got corroded saddles, pots I got to replace, fretboard that needs a deep clean. Ah, sucks. But I got it for a good deal, so okay, I'll deal with it. Now, we get to the nut. I doubt you can see it. The nut is cut so low. The strings are basically laying on the first fret. So I'm like, oh man. Now I need a nut. I need electronics, clean hardware, fretboard cleaned, nut. Still not a deal breaker. So then I look a little closer. I haven't even plugged it up yet, mind you, at this point in time in the scenario. And I don't want to blame Reverb for this because this is the seller. Reverb's not the one to blame for this. But the way they handle things at Reverb is kind of... It also irks me. So anyway, we get back to the fretboard. Every fret, I don't know if you can see, every fret all the way down on the B, G, and high E string have divots in it. Divots all the way down. So basically, the whole treble side of the guitar, something was done with the setup, or I don't know, maybe the neck is warped, but there's dents on every single one of them. And I'm like, come the fuck on. Come the fuck on, man. Now I gotta do a fret level, and I'm looking at the dents, and I'm like, well, what if the dents are too damn deep that there's not enough material left once the level's done? Now I need a refret. So I write the store. Still haven't played it yet. Wrote the store. Oh, the back plate is cracked around 3 screws. Eventually the plate's not going to be any good anymore. 30-year-old guitar, almost roughly 25 years. To be expected. Write the store. Say, hey man, corroded hardware, pots, dented frets. Every fret's dented. Gunk and corrosion everywhere. Nut needs to be cut. At this point, I just want my money back. Dude writes me back, says, hey man, I'll give you up to $150. I'll match you halfway, up to $150 on getting some repairs done. I said, man, where am I going to get a nut? a fret level, cleaned hardware, possibly replaced, and pots for 300 bucks. I said, furthermore, dude, it might need a refret. Like, it doesn't need a level. I'm looking at the divots. It probably needs a refret. And he goes, okay, well, I'll give you 300. And I was like, what? So I call my shop, my local shop, and dude there is like, yeah, we do refrets. It's 500 bucks. I write the dude back. I said, man, refrets at my local shop, 500 bucks, right? Now he writes me back. I'm getting a little heated now thinking about it. He writes me back, your guy's a little high. I can get a refret done here for 150 and 200. I said, cool. You do that. Give me my money back, man. And then I thought about it. I was like, man, this dude really thinks I'm trying to pull a fast one or something, you know? So I was like, let me call Sweetwater. Also, when I told him 500 bucks, I gave him the store name and the associate's name I spoke to so he could call and verify himself if he wanted to. Call Sweetwater. Sweetwater says, yeah, we do refrets, $650. So my guy's actually pretty low compared to Sweetwater, right? $650 is a lot for a refret, by the way, Sweetwater. I know prices of everything had to go up, but only at that point, only guitars getting refretted are going to be like $4,000 guitars because your $700 LTD is not worth it. Just throw it away and get a new one. So yeah, he comes back with, I'll give you 400 bucks. And I'm like, dude, I don't want your 400 bucks because I'm going to pay him, okay, it was $850, right? I'm going to pay him $850 for this. He's going to give me 400 bucks. Now I'm going to spend 200 to 300 bucks on top of his 400 to fix this. I'm going to put a little B-roll in here so you can hear what this guitar sounded like directly out of the box. I want you guys to hear that. Okay, so regardless of all the finish problems with the corrosion on the bridge, all the gunk on the fretboard, the dented frets all the way down underneath the G string, there's also this. Did you really ship it that way? Seriously? Then the knob is shorting out. Could be corrosion, could be dirt, could be a faulty knob. No. Keep in mind, this guitar was listed as very good condition. What you just heard, everything I just showed you. Like, I think the takeaway here is I'm only gonna deal with sellers that do Reverb safe shipping from now on because it cuts out the middleman. You go straight to Reverb, say, hey, it's not like it was supposed to be. I want my money back. Hook it up. They take care of it. You don't have to do the back and forth game I did with this shop. Yeah, I really, it makes me sad because this is such a beautiful, beautiful looking guitar. Like, back in the day, my friend had one that looked a lot like this, and I had a SC90 that was green burst. I always kind of wished I had one that looked like this, and this was my chance. Now that I've tweaked the truss rod, it's almost playable, but it's still not right. So let's go ahead and do one last sound sample. Okay, time for some sound samples, right? Let's see what it sounds like. Not bad, right? You can tell it wants to be a monster, wants to be a fire breather. Let's see. Let's do some single note stuff. That's not good. Let's check out these pots I was telling you about. That one's actually getting a lot better than it was, so it's probably just dirty, but let's check out the other pot. Not very good condition, I wouldn't say. I mean, it's not a deal breaker. It's something you could deal with. But those single notes, man, those single... Let's do the high E single notes. Let's check that out before we wrap this thing up. Now, I didn't notice it before, but, well, as you can tell, this guitar really wants to be a fire breather. It wants to be a monster. I didn't notice it before, but these fret ends, they all need to be fixed too with the level or the refret, whatever happens. They're all kind of rough, and you know, time has not been gentle to this guitar. I told you I was going to tell you how this guitar made me feel, right? I hate my life! That was a bad idea. I gotta sew the buttons back on. See you guys in the next video.